We were just sewing buttonholes on the Pfaff Ambition Essential sewing machine. So usually after that, you need to sew buttons on. And there is a built-in stitch, stitch number 13, for doing just that. You'll find that it requires no presser foot. So take off your foot, and I like to lower the feed dogs down. So slide the accessory box off, reach behind the machine, and I'm sliding the little lever to the right. Just when you're done, don't forget to slide it back to the left. And if you do want the feed dogs to come back up, just so you can see them, you have to take a stitch for them to actually come back up into position. When you pick stitch number 13, you'll see that it shows no foot number, so that should be a little helpful hint there. And the stitch width is 4 millimeters. Now, most of the time, that is pretty standard size for most button eyes. And you can kind of see the needle is leaning to the left right now. So I'm going to put the needle directly into the left hole of my button. Now, this is just a 2-hole button, but if I had 4 holes, you're just going to do, I usually do the 2 that are closest to me first, and then move backward and do the 2 that are behind it. So you're going to do it step by step here. So after the needle goes down into the hole, lower the presser foot, and it sits just directly on the button. Now I'm kind of eyeing the fact that the next eye of the button is fairly parallel, like it hasn't gotten twisted. So as I hand turn, just to double check that my needle will swing into that hole before I start to sew, and it has made it, no problem. Then I'm going to just keep my foot on the foot control. It actually is programmed for the amount of stitches that you want to take, and you can, if you want a few more, you can just sew again, but it locks it at the end. So if you wanted to, we could just do it again. Now, if you do want a shank of thread, let me actually get out the little tool. And when I talk about a shank, you mean a little bit of thread underneath this button to separate it for actually sewing on a garment. What you can do is actually position the button with the multi-purpose tool underneath it, and then it'll give you a little bit of distance. That way the button can button to a garment or whatever it's buttoning through. Otherwise, right now, this button really is sewn right down to the edge of the fabric. And if you want to put a little fray check on those threads, it is guaranteed not to come undone at a later time.